Hi cuties, and welcome to another round of the Jars of Chaos! Hello. That's right, we are here to play my TBR game for March. This is going to be intense because I'm also participating in not one, but two readathons in March. I am participating in both the Murder Mystery-a-thon. Is that the actual proper name of it? And then, again, I've heard it by two names. Spring into Reading-a-thon, aka Season-a-thon. So Murder Mystery-a-thon is run by Rye Reads, and then Season-a-thon is run by Stephanie Reads, another fellow Stephanie. No, the Bookverse. Stephanie's Bookverse. My god. Trying to remember people's username at the top of the hat. Okay, the drop of a hat. Wow. There are words that are coming out of my mouth today that make no sense, but what else is new? If you're new here, you can go check out episode 1 for the full rules. There's a lot of them. We do a spinner wheel. We have jars filled with my books. These are all of my books that I have not read. That's right. I have an entire room full of books I haven't read. One day I'll go over all of them if it's demanded enough, but it's a lot. Also, if you are new here, I am constantly playing a game in which will allow me to reward myself with purchasing books, because as you can see in past years, I've gotten a bit out of hand, and I'm curbing that a bit this year. I've done very good, in my opinion. I only allow myself to acquire books that are free or through my subscription boxes. They don't count. I don't have many of those. I do have a little check-in for us on some of our challenges. So right now, this is my points tracker. Once I get to 100 points, I win a book. I am 2 points away as of filming this video. As of this video being released, I definitely have gotten that. And that will be the second book I have won. And it will likely be another pre-order of something, because Fairy Loot comes out with my books that I need to match, and I'm waiting for them to release an Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands pre-order, because that's what I've really been saving that second spot for. I also play this game in order to win a book shopping spree with a bingo board. Now, I am also going to be amending some rules here because of how I've spaced this board. It's a bit of a nightmare, but this is where we currently stand. So I have read 5. I've changed this to pre-order / arcs, because arcs are kind of their own version of a pre-order, which I have done. Do a difficult adulting task, which I've actually done 5 times. More on that later. We have cooked a new recipe. We have watched a new movie finally. I have followed an exercise plan for 30 days. I have gone to an activity that was not convention related. I have finished a new TV show. I have completed a craft project. I've hit a milestone marker, which is a different tracker. And I have read 5 indie ebooks, or 5 ebooks. No, 5 indie ebooks on this one. Is it 5 ebooks? No, it's 5 ebooks. I've also amended that. 5 ebooks. This is 5 physical indie books. Now, with this one, I have asked chat, and we were debating them on this, because this is actually very difficult to get a bingo on, and I want to go shopping. What I've decided is if I hit 1 space 5 times, I get to go on a spree. So that adulting, doing an adulting task 5 times, I've hit it 5 times now, which means it erases itself. Now I have to fill it in again, okay? But I get to roll a die to decide the store and a percentile die for the money. Just know I have won. I've won a spree! Now that that's out of the way, I have basically finished my February TBR. I am on the last book on it. So, well done to me. And in this game, we are going to spin my wheel 8 times to determine what jars I am picking from, which will decide the TBR for March. Now, there are 8 spins. That does not mean we can get 8 books. Last month, we got 7 because I won a free space in pulling them the jars of challenges, oddly enough. Now, the jar of challenges can also make me pull many, many more books, and I'm hoping to also pick books for my readathons, but that is a lot of prompts. There are so many prompts going into that. So without further ado, let's find out what spin number 1 is. All right, spin number 1. Ooh, a gifted. Spin number 1 says we're gonna pick from the gifted teapot. Inside this teapot is all the books people have gifted me over the years. If you would like to gift me a book, guess what? There's a wish list down below in the description if you feel so kind and would like to book fairy me, because now you can. Anyway, we are gonna read this one. Oh, it's an indie book. This was recently gifted to me by Ian, I believe. This is by Tamara Giry, and this is Gay Angels, I believe. Here's what it is about. Nephilim, humans with direct lines to the angels, are natural demon hunters. All Nephilim, it seems, except Cassiel. The weakest among a family touched by archangels, she's abandoned her angelic inheritance for a mundane life as a bookseller. But even in the noise of the city, she remains burdened by the strict tenets of her old life. And recently, something far more sinister haunts her. I don't know how to say that name. Avatwe is a succubus out for revenge, though she has little say in the matter. As part of the greater demon's plan to ruin Cassiel's family for slaying a Duke of Hell, Avatwe has been sent to claim a particular Nephilim soul, one she's told will pose little challenge. It should be an easy seduction, quick, fatal. But if Avatwe is surprised to find her own pain reflected in Cassiel, a Nephilim deemed fallen by her own family standards. By choosing trust, they reveal the lies that bind them. But as unwilling participants in an eternal war, trusting each other is the most dangerous thing they can do. Angel-demon sapphic relationship, I believe. I don't know if I said that name right. Avatue or Avatu, I don't know. A-V-I-T-U-E. Tell me how it's pronounced. Which, it's funny that it's already an indie, because I used to do March of the Indies. So, cool. If I get all indie books this month, that would be hilarious. Spin number 2. Spin number 2. TBR bag. TBR bag. It's the TBR bag, everyone. It's the TBR bag. Inside this bag is every book I own that I have not read. So let's pick one. Let's see. Random. Wah. This one. Okay. A Million Junes. A Million Junes by Emily Henry. So Emily Henry has gotten very popular as an adult romance, but this is her YA. It is a YA standalone that I need to find. So here is A Million Junes. I think I got this in like a Second and Charles trade-in at some point. Here's what it's about. For as long as Jack June O'Donnell has been alive, her parents have had only one rule: stay away from the Angert family. But when June collides, quite literally, with Saul Angert, sparks fly and everything June has always known is thrown into chaos. Who exactly is this gruff, sarcastic, but seemingly harmless boy who has returned to their hometown of Five Fingers, Michigan, after 3 mysterious years away? And why has June, and O'Donnell to her core, never questioned her late father's deep hatred of the Angert family? After all, the O'Donnells and the Angerts may have mythic legacies, but for all the tall tales they weave, both founding families are tight-lipped about what caused the century-old rift between them. As Saul and June's connection grows deeper, they find that the magic, ghosts, and coy wolves of Five Fingers seem to be conspiring to reveal the truth about the harrowing curse that has plagued their bloodlines for generations. Now June must question everything she knows about her family and the father she adored, and she must decide whether it's finally time for her and all the O'Donnells before her to let it go. Here I thought this would be like a literary contemporary, and I'm guessing we're dealing with a paranormal romance situation. Okay. It's been a hot second since I've been in paranormal romance YA land. Let us see. All right, spin number 3. Spin number 3. Oh, that's an indie ebook. Okay. Maybe we will be March of the Indies. Don't even think about it. In our brain juice are all my, I have so many indie books, y'all. So many. Let's dig deep. Let's dig. This one. The Circus Infinite. This is by Con Wong, and here's what it's about. Hunted by those who want to study his gravity powers, Jess makes his way to the best place for a mixed species fugitive to blend in, the Pleasure Moon. Here, everyone just wants to be lost in the party. It doesn't take long for him to catch the attention of the crime boss who owns the resort casino where he lands a circus job. When the boss gets wind of the bounty on Jess's head, he makes an offer. Do anything and everything asked of him, or face vivisection. With no other options, Jess fulfills the requests. Espionage, torture, demolition. But when the boss sets the circus up to take the fall for his about-to-get-busted narcotics operation, Jess and his friends decide to bring the mobster down together. And if Jess can also avoid going back to being the prize subject of a scientist who can't wait to dissect him, even better. I remember hearing about this book a long time ago, and then Reads with Rachel also did a recent review of it, so it looks interesting. That's our ebook. Woo! Spin number 4. Spin number 4. Instagram. Ye old Instagram. What do you have for me today? We have Eugene Liang. Looking fantastic. Pokemon. Oh, nope. Don't have it. I'm just looking through my regular feed first. Oh, nope. Okay, that's not going to be out yet. And I don't have an ARC copy of it. Oh, it's a Saboteur, but I've read all of Saboteur. Although, did you guys hear the announcement of her new book? I'm really excited about it. Oh my god. You were talking about a board game. That's had somebody's stuff on fire. Okay, first Booktown. Okay, oop. Oh. Show me. Okay, I'm looking. Ishwa. Oh, there we go. Ha-ha! I found one. So I've paused on this. The Fragile Threads of Power is right there, baby. And I have the special edition of it, of course I do. Look how beautiful it is. This is continuing the Darker Shades of Magic universe. I'm very excited. I love Darker Shades of Magic. I am terrified. This can, I believe, be read without knowing Darker Shades of Magic, maybe? I do know the characters are gonna be in here, but it starts off a new trilogy. I don't know. We'll see if it's necessary. Here's what this one's about. A new door opens. Once there were 4 worlds nestled like pages in a book, each pulsing with fantastical power and connected by a single city, London. After a desperate attempt to prevent corruption and ruin in the 4 Londons, there are only 3. Grey London, thriving but barely able to remember its magical heritage. Red London, ruled lately by the Maresh family, flourishing and powerful. And White London, left to brutality and decay. Now the worlds are going to collide anew, brought to a dangerous precipice by the discoveries of 3 remarkable magicians. There's Kosaka, the child queen of White London, who has nourished her city on blood and dreams, and whose growing devotion to both is leading her down a dangerous path. Then there's Delilah Bard, born a thief in Grey London who crossed the worlds to become a legend far from there. She's an infamous magician, a devious heroine, and a risk-taking rogue, all rolled into one unforgettable package. Having disappeared to seek a new adventure, an old favor now calls Lila back to a dangerous port to join some old friends who need more help than they even realize. Last, there is Tess, a young runaway with an unusual and powerful ability, hiding out in Red London while trying to stay out of the limelight. Tess is the only one who can keep all the worlds from unraveling, if she manages to stay alive first. Okay, so I feel like, yeah, you might need to read the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy first, because Delilah is, you know, she's one of the main characters in that series, so yeah. Spin number 5. Spin number 5. Another ebook. Oh God. Do not curse me with ebooks. That's cruel. March of the Indies. March of the Indies. Okay. What are we gonna get? What are we gonna pull? This one. We are The Umbral Storm. Oh no, this is a chunky one. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Isn't it chunky? I think this is chunky. This is by Alec Hudson. How big is this? How big are you? Yeah, this is almost 700 pages, 656. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Here's what it's about. 1,000 years ago, the heart of the world was shattered, its fragments scattered across the lands. In the chaos that followed, martial orders arose to gather the shards, for it was found that great powers were granted when these pieces were bonded to the flesh of the chosen. These are the sharded few, warriors imbued with the divine energies that once coursed through the heart, driven to absorb enough fragments to claim godhood. Darren has known nothing in his life except suffering. Orphaned at the edge of the realms, indentured to a cruel slaver, he has little hope of escaping his circumstances. But elsewhere, ancient powers are stirring. New alliances threaten the peace of the old order. And against all odds, Darren will find himself a player in a game unlike anything he could have imagined. Here's what's super funny about this. The character Darren is spelled the exact same way my Darren, who is the Hoopaway in my series, The Ashport Archive. She stars in Memory of Hoopaway. She has a cameo in the first book. But that's not gonna mess me up a lot. I'm literally recording the audiobook for Memory of the Hoopaway right now, and Darren is one of the main featured characters, so. Okay. This, I believe I heard about this with covers with Cassidy. Here's the, I probably put the cover up on there. But it's got a cool big snaky guy. Don't know if that's an actual dragon or like a basilisk or something, but boom. Oh God, that's chunky. I think March is now taking revenge on how easy February was for me. Yikes. Spin number 6. Spin number 6. Is that a second Instagram? I might need to switch out the wheels because this wheel doesn't spin as well as the other one I have. Right on back to Instagram. Book bestie when she's done with the book. Okay, no, that's not a book. Oh, he's got a book. Nope, I don't have it. Nope. Nope. Okay, LGBT books written by Black authors. I've read it. Don't own it. Don't own them. Don't own it. Oh, I own it. Hey, hey, I got that one. I got that one. Woo, where are you at? Where are you at? Oh, Fueco, there you are. Ifueco. Hey. Woo. Raybearer by Jordan Ifueco. Ooh, I'm excited. I've heard really, really good things about this, and I'm finally getting to it. Here's what this is about. What if you've sworn to protect the one you were born to destroy? Tarisai has always longed for the warmth of a family. She was raised in isolation by a mysterious, often absent mother known only as the Lady. When Tarisai comes of age, the Lady sends her to the capital of the global empire of Artisar to compete with other children to be chosen as one of the Crown Prince's Council of 11. If she's picked, she'll be joined with the other council members through the Ray, a bond deeper than blood. That closeness is irresistible to Tarisai, but the Lady has other ideas, including a magical wish that Tarisai is compelled to obey: kill the Crown Prince once she gains his trust. Tarisai won't stand by and become someone's pawn, but is she strong enough to choose a different path for herself? Woohoo! Okay, this is good. Again, this is another one that comes highly recommended from Reads with Rachel. So, I've had this for I don't even know how long, but very excited to finally get to that. Spin number 7. Spin number 7. Oh, viewer pool. The viewer pool. The viewer pool. It's the viewer pool. Yeah. If you didn't know, there is a link in the description to a Google submission form where you can just throw a book at me and I will put it in this jar and maybe it'll get picked on one of these videos. You can also commission me on my Ko-fi page to read it like immediately, but if you're like, cool, you know, get to it when you want to get to it, put it in the viewer pool. This baby jar. I don't know. Wow, this one. Bands of Brass by Emily Skrutsky. I don't know this book. let's find out what it is. I don't know who submits them. I should have probably put a thing on it. You could sign off your name if you want to, but I didn't. Why is the hardcover is cheaper on Amazon than the Kindle? The Kindle's $11.99 and the hardcover right now is $8.97. What is up with that? A young pilot risks everything to save his best friend, the man he trusts most and might even love, only to learn that his friend is secretly the heir to a brutal galactic empire. Etienne's life was shattered when the merciless Umber Empire invaded his world. He spent 7 years putting himself back together under its rule, joining an Umber military academy and becoming the best pilot in his class. Even better, he's met Gal, his exasperating and infuriating enticing roommate who's made the academy feel like a new home. But when dozens of classmates spring an assassination plot on Gal, a devastating secret comes to light. Gal is the heir to the Umber Empire. Etienne barely manages to save his best friend and flee the compromised academy unscathed, rattled that Gal stands to inherit the empire that broke him, and that there are still people willing to fight back against Umber rule. As they piece together a way to deliver Gal safely to his throne, Etienne finds himself torn in half by an impossible choice. Does he save the man who's won his heart and trust that Gal's goodness could transform the empire? Or does he throw his lot in with the brewing rebellion and fight to take back what's rightfully theirs? It is 317 pages. It is book 1 of a trilogy. This was published by Del Rey. So why isn't this on? Oh, I know why I couldn't find it on Goodreads. I said bands of brass. It's bonds. I write them all down in my planner. That's what I'm doing, by the way. Okay, it's time for the final spin. Final spin says another viewer pool. Okay, viewer pool, come right on back. What's it gonna be this time? It's gonna be Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. Again, I don't own a copy of yet. Here's what this one's about. 7 years ago, the Atargatis set off on a voyage to the Mariana Trench to film a mockumentary, bringing to life ancient sea creatures of legend. It was lost at sea with all hands. Some have called it a hoax. Others have called it a maritime tragedy. Now a new crew has been assembled, but this time they're not out to entertain. Some seek to validate their life's work. Some seek the greatest hunt of all. Some seek truth. But for the ambitious young scientist Victoria Stewart, this is a voyage to uncover the fate of the sister she lost. Whatever the truth may be, it will only be found below the waves, but the secrets of the deep come with a price. Okay, well again, gonna have to figure out how to get a copy of that book. Is it in my Libby? Like, is there just a copy of it somewhere? No, of course not. Not in that app. Ding deep. You have the sequel. Why don't you have the first one? Well, this is the most manageable TBR I've ever had to hold because so many of them don't exist. Why? I think that's a fair amount of indies and ebooks. That's a lot of ebooks. Oh boy, good thing I got my new Kindle case. Love how this game is meant to help me decrease the volume here. This is the volume 4. We've gotten rid of 4 for March. That's March! It's the March of the Indie. Yeah, what are you guys reading in March? Are you joining my, well, they're not my, but the ones that I'm participating in, Murder Mystery-thon and Season-a-thon? Are you gonna join those Readathons? It'll be fun. I haven't fully decided all of the TBR for those. I'll probably post a picture or something on TikTok and Instagram about it, so you can follow me on the socials below. Again, if you wanna join into the viewer pool, submissions are there. If you wanna book fairy me, the wish list is there. And yeah, all that jazz. I will see you guys later. If you don't know, I stream every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm not in the Eastern time zone, but most people operate using that. So 8 p.m. Eastern on Fridays. And I'm over on the Hollis channel on Mondays, Halo Moon Studios, and Sundays we do random stuff all day on here. So cool. I'm gonna go now. Bye! Hi all, you probably thought the video was over. It's not, because at the time of filming, I hadn't decided my TBR for the 2 readathons, maybe 3 now, that I am participating in March, and I wanted to share them with you because they're very fun, and I did manage to put everybody that I got on the game onto those TBRs, Both of these readathons have kind of bingo boards. So the first readathon we're going to talk about is the Murder Mystery-a-thon by Rye Reads. And this doesn't have as many prompts as the second one, but we're going to go through them. Now, this is a murder mystery themed one, so it gears towards having a lot more of like thriller and horrors, which, as we know, not my genre, but sometimes they trickle in, so we're going to do our best. But let's begin. So the first prompt is part of a series. We're going to read ones that I picked from the TBR game, and that is Bonds of Brass. This is a trilogy, so it kicks off a series. Next up is a hyped mystery or thriller, and I have chosen Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Booley. I heard a lot of amazing things about this book when it came out. There were tons of booktubers who were talking about it and couldn't stop talking about it, so I'm saying that's pretty hyped. For whodunit, we're gonna go with The Late Mrs. Willoughby by Claudia Gray. This is the sequel to Murdering Mr. Wickham, which was a whodunit, so I'm assuming this also is going to be a whodunit. It follows Mr. Darcy and Miss Tilney, which are the son and daughter of, well, the son of Lizzie and Darcy and the daughter of Catherine Morland and Henry Tilney. And I love that because those are my two favorite couples in all of Austen. So reading about their children and kind of falling for each other while solving murder mystery, I find is very fun. For a buddy read, I'm going to be reading with Snazzy. It took us some time to figure out a good one to do together, but we're going to do In the Woods by Carrie Jones and Stephen E. Weddell? I don't know. But it's coming out on Everand, I guess is the new name for Scribd, on March 2nd for Snazzy, so we're going to read this one together. For a book that has an M in the title, we're going to read A Million Junes by Emily Henry. Obviously, million has an M in it. The next one is to have the words detective or crime in the title. This was incredibly hard, but I do have The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. I hope I enjoy this. I've heard good things about it, but it's so hyped and it's a very long wait on my Libby app, so we'll see. The next category is victim, dead, or killed in the title. I didn't have anything on these shelves. Luckily, I have an ARC copy of The Dead Cattail Assassins by P. Jelly Clark. So I will be reading that ARC. It comes out, I think, April 23rd, if memory serves. So that's dead. I got dead. For a book that is a long-standing TBR book, we're going to read Raybearer by Jordan Ifueko. For a weapon on the cover, we're pulling from the TBR game of The Umbral Storm by Alec Hudson, I think. And then for a new release mystery thriller, we're going with another ARC that I have. It's not coming out till way later in the year though, and that is The Lamplighter. I have forgotten who it's by, but I have an ARC of this, and it's a new release. So it's kind of fantasy mystery thriller, so I'm counting it. Then the next prompt is finish any book. So the one book I couldn't figure out a prompt for on this TBR was The Fall That Saved Us by Tamara Jure. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that name, but from the TBR game, so haha. And for a book with multiple POVs, we're doing The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. For a detective series, I don't own a lot of these, but luckily I'm reading Here Witchy Witchy, so we have book 3, The Trouble with Ghosts. I just read book 2. This is by A.L. Kessler. It is an indie paranormal urban fantasy detective series. She is an agent, it's like paranormal FBI agent, so yeah. For a book published in March, we're gonna read The Circus Infinite, which I think was March 8th, the year it came out. It counts. Recommended on Discord. I didn't know if it had to be the Discord that Ryzen, but my friend Hala is determined to have me read this book, and so she put it in my Discord Rex, and that is Bravely by Maggie Stiefvater, so I'm counting it. And finally, a book to read for the twist. I'm going with Into the Drowning Deep. Now, I still don't have a copy of this. I'm a little nervous because I can't find a copy in my libraries. I didn't find it at Second and Charles. It's on Amazon, but I don't have any free credits because I'm not allowed to buy the book. So I really have to get my points going so that I can buy it, or somebody has to bless me with the link in my description below on my Amazon wish list and give me the book because I can't find a copy and I'm not allowed to purchase books. So that is the bingo board for that readathon. Moving on to seasonathon or spring into readingthon. I don't know what's the correct one for it? This has a bigger bingo board. So Murder Mystery was a 4x4. This is a 5x5. So we have more. And we have overlap. So we'll try to go over this quickly. We have, yet again, a TBR vet. So we're just going to use Ray Bearer again. For New Beginnings, a book that's the beginning of a series, we're going to do Into the Drowning Deep, which has, it's a duology, so I'm counting that. For Wet T-Shirt Contest, which is to read a smutty book, we're going to read The Fall That Saved Us, because I'm pretty sure this is going to be smut. For Road Trip, read an audiobook, we're going to listen to The Late Mrs. Willoughby. It's already in my loans. We're good. For Let It Shine, a cozy or book that will make you happy, I decided to go with Tilly and the Book Wanderers, Pages & Co. by Anna James. This is a middle grade series where this little girl goes on an adventure with Alice in Wonderland and Anne of Green Gables, and that's going to make me happy. For Stormy Weather, we're reading an intimidating book, which is The Umbral Storm by Alec Hudson, because it is 656 pages, I believe. That's pretty intimidating. For Spring Fashion, a book with a beautiful cover. I forgot I have an arc to do, so I changed what I originally planned for this prompt, and we're going to read A Story Spun in Scarlet by R. Dugan. This is an ebook that I have to do, and it is also 650 some odd pages, and I have to read it within a week. So, ooh, good luck to me. For Rewind, a past season-a-thon group book or author, I had to really dig for this, but I did find, I think the 2022 book was Love on the Brain by Allie Hazelwood. Haven't read it yet. For April Showers, a sad book. Now, I don't know how sad this is going to be, but it is going to make me sad. But we're going to read The Girl with Seven Names, Escape from North Korea by Hyun-So Lee. It's a nonfiction memoir about her journey escaping North Korea, which is never a happy adventure. So I'm assuming this is going to make me sad, but hopefully by the end be hopeful, because clearly she got out. For Luck of the Irish, which is a book with green on the cover, we're going to go with In the Woods by Carrie Jones, very green. Prom Queen, read a popular book. We're going to read The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Songu Mandana. Someone in the comments tell me, is this book smutty? Because I had it shelved with my vlog series, but based on the reviews I saw, maybe it's not? So let me know if you've read it and it's smutty or not. Okay. Then there is the group book. Now the group book this year is Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa. I've already read the entire trilogy, loved it. So I had to ask him, like, can I read something else? And so we determined I could read any Julie Kagawa book. So I'm gonna read The Eternity Cure, which is the second book in the Immortal Rules series. That might change though, because if I have too many books that I'm physically reading, I might change it to The Iron Raven, which is still Julie Kagawa, but I do have audiobook for that. For Spring Forward, next book in the series, we're going with Trouble with Ghosts by A.L. Kessler. It's the third book. For Love is in the Air, a book with a romance or friendship, we're going with A Million Junes by Emily Henry. For Over the Rainbow, read a classic or a retelling of a classic. We're gonna read a classic because I really need to finish the series. We're reading Rainbow Valley by Lucy Maud Montgomery. I have 2 books in Anne of Green Gables to finish, y'all. For Spring Break, a book with a beach setting, we're gonna go with People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. They're clearly on some kind of beach. That worked. For Refresh Your TBR, a new book you've recently purchased, I'm gonna go with Bonds of Brass because I just got it for the TBR. Thank you, Pango, for your Pango bucks. For Friendship Bracelets, a best friend pick, Hala already wanted me to read it, so we're going with Bravely again. For Women's March, a book with a strong female protagonist, we're gonna go with Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. Flower Power, a book with flowers on the cover, we're gonna go with All the Crooked Saints, again, by Maggie Stiefvater. I guess I'm reading a couple Maggie Stiefvater this month. Read Like an Aries, read a book under 250 pages, we're gonna go with Be Not Far From Me by Mindy McGinnis. This was probably the hardest one to do, but that is Tiptoe Through the Tulips, read a book which title is the name of a song or a lyric in a song. That was hard. I remembered though, my sister used to listen a lot to the Wallflowers, and I know the song Nothing to See Here by Kevin Wilson. Thank you to my sister and her obsession with Jacob Dylan. And finally, Spring Court, read a book with royalty in it. We're gonna do The Circus Infinite. And why do I keep saying infinite? Infinite. Anyway, it has royalty in it. That's my full TBR. I don't know how many books in total that is, but it's a lot. At least there's a lot of crossover, okay? There's only a few that are just for this TBR and just for this one, so let's hope I read a lot. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, that's all. Bye! ago, the utter guide. What? Hello? Oh God, it's my neighbors. It always scares me. I always think someone's breaking into my apartment. I have super anxiety about that now.